Hey everyone, Travis here on week 5, day 2 with Voyboy. A little distracted from the game. Voyboy, you just played CLG and you beat them after losing yesterday. Everything is exactly like the rankings and scores are exactly the same except for the C9 LMQ thing. So you guys are still in sixth place, I think. But what happened in the CLG game that you guys were able to do well against them? Because they had a bit of a gold lead on you guys for a little bit.
Yeah, so early game I got first blooded. I went all in on Link and we thought Lee Sin was top. That's what we were calling. So I was just like, oh, I can just go crazy here. And then Lee Sin came behind me. I pretty sure I missed. If I played a little bit better, I would have actually traded and probably got first blood and had Lee Sin kill me. So I should have been able to kill Link there. And if that happened, it would have been really good for us because we would have relieved jungle pressure and just got first blood for our team. But I died, and that was a little bit of a setback. We didn't let that death really boggle our minds or anything. Like I was down a summoner and I died, but I got wards, took map control, like out farmed the LeBlanc, and we were just able to slowly take back control of the game. I think the moment that we got like a decisive lead was when we went for Dragon and we just started it, and they came, like Lee Sin came in to try to steal it. We got Dragon. I got like a Q mid Lee Sin dash on him, and we killed him, and then we killed I think one more. So that was just like two kills in our favor. We lost one person, but we got Dragon off that. And from that point on, we kind of had control of the game. We made one mistake mid where we didn't focus down the turret before turning the fight, and we lost two kills off that. But then through some like good team fights, ward, vision control, and like some Baron forces, we were able to just come out ahead and win the game. So not a perfect game from either team. We made our mistakes. CLG had their fair share as well, but I'm just happy that we were able to finally win a game where we get an advantage and we don't manage to like throw it away in a really silly fashion.
This weekend we've seen a lot of upsets. Obviously, Complexity being Dignitas before, and no offense, but I think a lot of people would say that you guys beating CLG, given the difference in the standings right now, is probably an upset as well. Do you think that we're starting to see these top teams, get figured out a little bit by some of the guys that are lower in the standings? Like, are you guys getting more comfortable and ready to start beating some people over the head with, mouses and keyboards, mice?
I think it just kind of shows that there's a straying away from the old format of LCS where like you'd have like TSM or Cloud9 just like decisively in first, and all the other teams like kind of messing around with each other in like the third, fourth, and fifth spots, and then like the bottom two teams just being like like free wins. People would talk about it like that sometimes, and you just see teams taking games off teams that people just normally wouldn't expect. But honestly, all the teams are looking pretty strong. Like everyone has their shining moments, their particular strengths and weaknesses, and in certain matchups, like that can just work to a team's favor. Complexity can take a game off Dig. We can take a game off LMQ and CLG and stuff like that. So even though the teams that are in the bottom of the standings kind of deserve to be there because they just have a lot more to work on, it still shows that those teams can fight and contend with the upper dogs. And I think that's pretty scary for everyone because there's still a long way left in this split, and people can just improve and keep getting better. And I think like it's impossible to predict how this season's going to look. Like I don't know who's going to go to Worlds. We're going to be working as hard as hell as we can to try and make it there, but it's going to be a tooth and nail fight to the end.
We saw something similar to this in Europe a while back, where it seemed like all the teams were just beating each other, and a lot of people felt like that meant as the scene was not very strong as a whole. Like there weren't any good teams there, but in reality, a lot of people felt as though that meant that all those teams were actually really good. Always some debate about that. Do you think that the fact that everybody's sort of beating everybody, is that a sign that NA is getting really good? Is it a sign that everybody's like C9, who was really good in the past, might have just gotten worse, and that's why there's like this big brawl? Any idea of what that means for us on the international scene?
Yeah, so when a team is decisively at the top, every other team below them is going to be trying to learn from them, trying to pick up on what they're doing well and trying to improve. And I think that for a while, C9 was able to do that and set an example for everyone else to follow. And it was hard because no one could really replicate like the way they were playing the game. But now I think honestly, NA is a lot stronger than it's ever been. I think each team is working extremely hard to improve. Everyone's like got analysts now, coaches moving in, players just busting their ass to get better. Whereas before we could sometimes see some complacency with just being in the LCS is okay, but right now no one finds that acceptable. Everyone's working hard to try to be the best and to try to improve themselves and improve their team. And I think it's really good for NA as a whole. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us competing like strongly on the international stage come Worlds, because like even at All Stars we saw C9 do quite well without High, and I would not be surprised to see us go far at the World Championships.
All weekend long, I've been asking players about the new patch that just hit. Obviously not implemented yet in the LCS, but do you have any opinions on that? There's been debate about AD carries being stronger, weaker, Skarner coming in. Any thoughts?
I would say it's hard to predict what it's going to look like. I think Skarner is definitely going to be a top jungler. Nilly is probably going to be disabled for a while, but I actually really like her new kit. It's much more fluid. There's a lot of outplay potential. It's kind of like an assassin. Just reminds me of like a Kali kind of, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing her when she gets unlocked.
That's kind of your thing, the assassins, really.
Yeah. I prefer that champion style, but obviously I've been learning and picking up the more standard mids, and I think I'm bringing them up to a pretty strong level right now. But yeah, definitely looking forward to playing Nidalee. The 80 carry itemization changes and stuff with the nerf to Randuins. I don't think 80 carries are going to be weaker overall. I might end up standing corrected, but I think that there's just a lot of interesting options that are going to be opening up. And like I think Riot realized that 80 carries were getting stronger, and that's why they nerfed heal. They reduced the movement speed by half a second, and it's honestly not that great of a time for like melee bruisers, I would say. But yeah, I'm not an 80 carry player. We'll see what builds emerge as the top ones. There's a lot of debate over like IE, Blade. Like people say BT is not good. I agree with that one, but just has yet to unfold. So we'll just watch and see.
Now, along those same lines as the patch changes and all that, you got a haircut yesterday. 80, whenever there's so much talk about hair recently in the NALCS, we've seen it with Kiwi's hair. Loco Doco apparently getting a haircut soon. Hope to interview him soon on that. Just all these different things. What is Doublelift even got a bad haircut? So what do you think? Do you think that hair is a major motivation or major factor in the competition that we're seeing right now in the NALCS?
Yeah, I mean, I think the player that gets the haircut last is just gonna have the best chance to win. Like Dignitas, for all the jokes they make with like bowl cuts and stuff like that, it's really just an easy, convenient way for them to continuously get haircuts to like keep the bowl in shape. And then like Doublelift last week, I think he got a haircut, and then this week I got one yesterday. So that's why we were able to beat CLG in our match today. But if like Link like buzzed his head off or something, they probably would have beat us. Yeah.
If he buzzed his head off, that would be different. I think actually,
we'd probably be able to win if he did it.
Yeah, hopefully. So yeah, you just think that we're going to continue to see more wild haircuts. Any predictions as to, like anything that's going to really stand out? Mohawks, braids, any dreadlocks, anything like that?
Yeah, I would like to see like Cutie do something with his hair, like get some dreadlocks or something.
He has a lot. He have it braided, right?
Yeah, he did. Just go the extra mile. I think that could be good.
So hopefully we will see some more innovation just in the hair styles in NA. Hopefully we can bring that up against the Koreans. Anything that you want to say at the end of this interview to any of your fans or the Voyboy boys? Is that a thing? I hope it's a thing.
The Voyboy boys. Yeah, to our fans, like this has been a rough season. We are near the bottom of the standings, and I could imagine how hard it is being a fan of our team because we always seem to come so close to like winning a game, and then we just do something like from an outside perspective, it would just seem ridiculous. It's like how do they throw that hard? And that's something that we're just working on. Wins versus like LMQ and CLG, they're good steps, but we just need to bring ourselves to a level of consistency that we can just continuously like take games off these higher ranked teams, because I honestly think we're as good as all these other teams in the LCS. And like Meteos yesterday when they lost against us, I think you asked him like how did you feel about the match going against Curse, and he's like, oh, I think Curse is actually good. Like they just had like random stuff happen to them, and it's not so much random because it's all stuff that we can control, but it's definitely stuff that we are working on and trying to improve, and hopefully you'll see our consistency start to come out, and we can make you guys proud of being our fans. And then yeah, of course, thanks to our sponsors, Cooler Master, Energems, Nissan. Thanks guys for all the support, and yep, thanks for the interview. And
as you referenced, I did interview Meteos yesterday. If you'd like to hear more of the interview that I did with him, as Voyboy mentioned, you can check out that and the rest of our LCS coverage. Thank you so much, Voyboy, at ongamers.com. And an extra big thanks to our sponsor, Alienware.